Let's bring in our panel to talk about what has transpired in Ferguson, the media, the perception, and the consequences. Tom Harvey is the Executive Director of ArchCity Defenders. David Horowitz from the David Horowitz Freedom Center and author of the book Take No Prisoners, The Battle Plan for Defeating the Left. To both Tom Harvey and David Horowitz, our thanks. Welcome to you both, gentlemen. And Tom, we'll begin with you. Salon has an article saying the inferno in Ferguson is not surprising. The article goes back and traces Missouri's history of race relations, including the KKK and neo-Nazis. Your organization offers a report saying that black drivers are disproportionately pulled over for traffic violations in Ferguson. We, in fact, saw the article there from Salon on camera there on our screens. My question to you, Tom, is Ferguson in and of itself discriminatory? Does it have a justice system that is racially biased?
So thank you very much for having me on the show. And I just want to say I do go by Thomas. So Ferguson, I can't get into what's in the minds of the police officers or the court or the judges there. What I can tell you is my clients believe they're being targeted because they're black. They've told us this for the last 5 years. We've represented thousands of people in the municipal courts in the St. Louis County region. There are 90 municipalities in our region, and it's a very dense region, so we have a lot of representation there. The statistics we cite are from Chris Koster's Attorney General report. These aren't our statistics. These are from the Attorney General's report, and that says that 86% of vehicles involved a black motorist in the stops, although 67% of the population is black in Ferguson, and that whites comprise 29% of the population and only 12.7% of vehicle stops. And it goes on to discuss a series of data points that support our clients' impressions about this. That's just the primary point of contact with the officer at the stop. And the officer, once they've gotten past the first reason they stopped them, I'm not going to dispute the fact that my clients have ordinance violations such as driving while suspended or no proof of insurance. That's beyond question. They have it, and after that moment, the officer is doing his job, his or her job. And what we're talking about is a systemic problem where the consequence of those tickets is a series of fines that are very high. Our clients believe that they're not only being stopped because they're black, but they're being exploited financially. Ferguson's budget, again, these aren't my numbers, these are Ferguson's budget, it lists municipal court revenue as its second highest source of revenue behind sales tax. So whether or not the individual people are targeting folks, at this point, in terms of the tensions between law enforcement and the community, I'm not sure how much that matters. There's the impression. And
we appreciate that, Tom. We've been very indulgent with time, letting you build that case, and you delivered a rather comprehensive brief. Let me go to David Horowitz, standing by in California. David, are we in a situation where there is some sort of quota that is supposed to exist in the criminal justice system? I mean, what do you think about this, drawing parallels between percentages of and counts of traffic stops or all the other attendant things that Tom brought up?
I am sick and tired of Black America blaming everybody but itself for its problems. If 67% of Ferguson is black, who's to blame if if people think there's a discriminatory system? It's the 67%. They're a majority. They can elect whoever they want. They've elected Democrats. That's their problem. What we have going on in Ferguson is a lynch mob. This is one of the most disgraceful, acts imaginable. You have indict, prosecute, indict, convict, or else. This is exactly the mentality of the lynch mobs of the past. The difference is that this lynch mob is black, and it's led by the Attorney General of the United States. And Republicans and conservatives are too damn timid to point this out. It's the big elephant in the room. These riots by criminals are designed to circumvent the justice system or to force it to the mob's point of view. And
Tom,
we have already people. I'm sick and tired of people saying, you know, all the evidence isn't in. When you see Michael Brown brutalizing that store clerk in a strong-armed robbery, and then you know that he wrestled a policeman in his police car with his weapon. What kind of...
We actually don't know any of that. We don't know any of that. Neither do you. That's not these reports. But the point is, I'm not here
one
to
at a time, please.
David.
Let's let Tom talk for a second. David, we'll get back to you. Go ahead, Tom.
I think we don't know what happened on that day. And the point of my report is not to make any statement about the incident involving the officer and Michael Brown. If Michael Brown and the officer had never come into contact that day, everything that we put in our paper would still be true. It is true that the people feel that way. It is true that the statistics support what they're saying. And my major point is, this is not the product of individual actors. One of the responses to what's been going on in Ferguson is suggestions you hire some additional black police officers. That's a welcome first step. However, that doesn't change the structure that's in place that produces these results in the municipal court.
Tom,
it's a line item on a budget.
But Tom,
once it becomes a line item on a budget,
Tom, if I could ask you this, David was making the point, and let me come in here with a question. The situation is, Tom, you had Governor Nixon in a statement to the people of Missouri saying we need to move forward to a prosecution, not an investigation. He didn't say investigation. He said we must move forward to a prosecution. Tom, certainly, although you're dealing with overall statistics, when it comes to the Ferguson situation, that was ill-advised on the governor's part, was it not?
I'm not going to get dragged into a conversation about what you can get another guest on.
Well,
here.
okay, then fine. I'll turn to David Horowitz. David, part of the problem is Jay Nixon saying we move forward to a prosecution without even talking about an investigation.
Part of the problem is mob rule, and this gentleman whose name escapes me is behaving perfectly like a mob. He had 5 minutes to present his case at the outset. I didn't get 3 minutes in when he's talking over me and interrupting me. He can't handle the truth. That's a problem with the left. They don't want a dissenting opinion in the room. Now, the fact is that there was a fight in the police car. There's no doubt about that. And that this 300-pound thug was beating on this police officer. And when you put those two facts together, the strong-arm robbery and the thuggishness, it's inconceivable attacking a police officer.
It's hilarious that you're calling statements from a police report facts. Those are not facts. They are not evidence.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to both get a chance. Here's what we're going to do right now. Tom, you've got 30 seconds. Make your case, and David will give you 30 seconds. Then our time is about gone. Go.
My point about the hyperbole of Mr. Horowitz is he has no idea what happened in that car. A statement from the police report is not facts. It's not evidence. It's very often fiction, in fact. My report spits out a context for some of the underlying tensions in Ferguson and the surrounding region, and that's it.
All right, David, you respond.
I will repeat what I said at the beginning. This is a lynch mob. It's been going on for weeks. It's not the first time we've seen black lynch mobs attempting to convict or destroy the careers of innocent whites. Paula Deen was an Obama voter, and they destroyed her career and a good part of her fortune, solely because she was white. Or she said something 25 years ago to her husband in private after being mugged by a black criminal.
And we will have to stop right there. David Horowitz in California, we appreciate your time. Tom Harvey, the Executive Director of ArchCity Defenders from Missouri, we thank you for your time. One other note, David Horowitz has a new book, Take No Prisoners, The Battle Plan for Defeating the Left. Certainly an invigorating conversation. Our thanks to you both. What is your take on all of this? We'd love for you to tweet us your comments. Why don't you do so at Newsmax TV, #America's Forum.